Hello, everyone. We're so happy to share some wines with you today. We have our first quarter wine club video that we are really excited about. So I have some very special guests. We have Shaylan Owen, our wine club manager, here with us, and also Sarah Gummoe, our winemaker. So we're going to have so much fun talking about the wines. For the first quarter, we have pre-releases and a brand new wine to share with you today. So let's get into it, guys. First and foremost, icebreaker. We are in winter. I wanted to film outside. I was vetoed. You guys will just have to come to the winery and see how gorgeous it is because it's so beautiful. Snow on the vines. So our icebreaker today is what you're looking forward to this winter.
Well, I'd say aside from just being cozy inside with my little twinkly lights and tea, we do every year a big cookie marathon with my mom, who's like the ultimate baker, and then all the little girls in our family. So that's Saturday.
Can I come?
Yes.
Definitely. So fun. I love it. Shaylan, what about you?
I'm waiting for the first big snowstorm because every time we get snowed in quotes, I always make quiche, and I make way too much quiche because it's one of my favorite things. It's great as leftovers. It's good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so I always change it up. So I'm so excited to get some quiche going. And you honestly can't go wrong with a roasted chicken either. The way a roast chicken makes the house smell is great on a snowy day. So it's always food for me.
Yes, I want to join your winter activity as well. I'm just going to insert
I know you
myself.
like quiche. I know you like quiche. So
I love quiche. So I think mine, I always have a list of winter projects because wintertime is the only downtime that we have really, and we are lucky that we're in an industry where we actually have downtime. And I always have a list of a handful of things I want to do or learn, and top of my list is learn how to play the ukulele. So if we know anyone who's a music teacher can help me out. I know there's a master class available. I might try that. We'll see how it goes. So hopefully I can get that accomplished this winter.
Definitely.
yeah, I know a couple folks who have learned.
Okay, good. So it's not impossible.
Not impossible.
That's, yeah, cool. Well, sounds good. Let's get into our first wine. So we have a new wine. So Shaylan, do you want to see? Oh, I got a lavender on my Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. So brand new wine in the portfolio. This is our Erste Gruner Veltliner. Well, cheers, guys. Brand new release. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Very excited about this one. So Erste means first in German. And, my dad, when he purchased land on the east side of Seneca Lake to start a vineyard there, the warmest site in all the Finger Lakes, known as the Banana Belt, right? No bananas, but it's pretty warm. He really took a risk and planted Gruner as the first grape, the first variety. He's very passionate about Gruner Veltliner. And because it was that first thing planted in this new vineyard, it was sort of the inspiration behind this Erste name. But Sarah, you spent some time in Austria, did a harvest there.
I did.
Can you tell us more about your exploration of Austrian Gruner Veltliners and how this style was the inspiration for you?
Definitely. So I did a harvest there in 2016.
Wow.
Almost a decade ago. I'm very old.
No, you're not. You're
Just
definitely
relaxing
not.
that. And in the Comtal region of Austria, which is known for Gruner and Riesling. I've always loved the grape, but I was familiar more with the ones that you more commonly see, which are more zesty and fresh and maybe more shy in their aromatic expression, meant to be drunk young. But I discovered there that they're also, unbeknownst to the rest of the world, they're making these big, rich, beautiful textural styles that are aged, fermented and aged in large format oak usually. And, that over time they're meant to age, and that texture, that mouthfeel, together with extended hang time and super concentrated ripeness, just creates like an endless evolution of flavors throughout decades. We tasted one, I think it was from 57, and it tasted like it was 25 years old.
Wow.
And it was just like booming with all of this stone fruit, minerality, just layers upon layers. Like, I couldn't believe it. I just fell in love with it. So when I came here and you said, we have all this Gruner, we've got to make another style. Let's see what kind of creativity we could put into it. And you approached me about maybe doing a different type of Gruner. I was thrilled to put some of that experience to use together with some other things I've learned in some of my other travels and create this very different, richer, more intense style that's really meant to age for decades.
It's fantastic. I'm very excited about it. It's definitely one for the table. So,
Yes,
Shaylan,
absolutely.
What do you think here?
Excellent aromatics. You can tell that
Yes.
there's texture in this wine. You can smell the neutral oak aging with the lees contact. There's some nice apple notes, and you can just tell this has depth and a little bit more heft on the palate. So I think pairing wise, roast chicken and quiche, actually, my two favorite things. It's an excellent food pairing wine because it still has crisp acidity. It still has that mouthwatering finish, which is what you want with food pairing. And I think that yellow apple just pairs really, really nicely. There's a little tropical in there as well. And I think with time, you're going to get even more of that.
Absolutely. I'm so excited about this. Cheers to the first Erste. Cheers, Sarah. Well done. Cheers. Cheers. Very excited about this. All right. Next wine. We've got a pre-release 2024 Dr. Frank Chardonnay. Thank you so much, Shaylan.
Welcome.
So Chardonnay was one of the first varieties planted on this farm by Constantine, and he was really passionate about Chardonnay. It was the first grape varieties were Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Riesling, actually. And Chardonnay it's an interesting story in terms of we have a very old blocks of Chardonnay here. And because of Constantine's sort of viticultural expertise, he was sourcing grape material and vine material, from all over the country. We had a relationship in Quebec that led him to get cuttings from Europe, and he would drive up to Quebec, and he spoke fluent French, and he was able to get his cuttings across the border. This was pre-quarantine era. And we believe them, at least this block where a majority is coming from, to be Burgundian clones, from Burgundy, France, where we haven't been able to sort of isolate the clones of which ones they are, but they've been propagated over time. We had a nursery here for many, many years, up until the mid-90s. And throughout the Finger Lakes, you do hear stories of, I have the Dr. Frank clone of Chardonnay, Dr. Frank clone. So it's a really interesting connection of our kind of plant material going through the Finger Lakes. But I love our Chardonnay. I think it's an unsung hero. I would love to hear from winemaking perspective, Sarah, about your thoughts on the Chardonnay and what are you excited about, with Chardonnay in general, but especially this wine.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm actually very excited about Chardonnay in this region.
Yeah.
I think there's a big camp of people who are anti-Chardonnay, and I kind of used to be, leaning that way, but I'm getting more and more into Chardonnay the older I get. And it's true what they say, that it's really like a winemaker's playground, because there's so many different styles you can push Chardonnay in. And I personally just happen to love our type of style, which is blending the fresh, clean, pure, varietal aromatics of Chardonnay, which would be citrus, tree fruit, maybe leaning a little riper, stone fruit, and blending it with like a really carefully selected oak profile to give you spice or vanilla or, some toast, some nutty characteristics. And with that barrel age and potentially some lees work, you're adding in again that texture, and you're just building complexity. So using oak as that vessel to not to overpower the fruit, but to complement it. And I think we end up with a nice balance between that fresh fruitiness and those secondary flavors coming from the oak.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. I haven't tasted it probably since we bottled it, and it's very exciting. What do you think, Shaylan? How are you feeling about it?
I love it because it's not the heavy style. It's not unoaked. It's a great balance of Chardonnay. And in the tasting room, folks who don't like Chardonnay, they're known as ABC drinkers, which means anything but Chardonnay.
Right.
And this is the wine that changes people's minds.
Yes.
This 100% changes their minds for Chardonnay.
Because it's still fresh.
Right. It's fresh, but it's also soft. It's got texture. It's rounded. It's great for food pairing. The acid's nice. There are all those characteristics to this style. And I kind of describe it as a little bit of Burgundy in style with a little more oak, just a touch more oak. But it's definitely not the heavy, buttery, oaky style. And people really find this very appealing. And with a good cheese board.
Oh yeah.
Like creamy cheeses, sharp cheeses, you name it. This is a great pairing for any of those kinds of cuisines. Also seafood. This would be a great lobster wine. If you're a lobster fan, for sure, or a crab cake.
Ooh, lobster
something
mac
with
and
the
cheese.
lobster mac and cheese. That's exactly right. So this I think is really nice. There's some nice tropical notes. 2024 was a riper vintage for us, so we get a little bit more of that less of the tree fruit and a little bit more of the stone fruit coming out. And I think the touch of vanilla is really balanced.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I call Sarah the aromatics queen, and I think it holds true, especially with these two wines, where aromatics is not the primary thing that you're thinking about with these wines, right? You're looking at texture, you're looking at depth, complexity, but there's just across the board so many different kind of clusters you're hitting within that aromatic wheel that I think it's really incredible. So beautiful wine, very excited about this one. We have one more wine, you guys.
Yes.
I know it's the part to pour out. Yes.
Aromatic wines are the first thing I notice about a wine. The aromatic character is the first thing I pick up. And so I've been very impressed with the wines here, especially because of the aromatics. And I think cool climate regions do that very well. I think that really helps. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the more you are able to retain them, like the more literal flavor you're capturing. So I guess that would be one signature if I had to say about my approach.
Absolutely.
Is to maximize that.
Aromatic. We need to get a crown for Sarah. Aromatics. I will work on that.
Taste is largely influenced by your sense of smell.
Yes.
And so if you can smell it, you can taste it.
Absolutely.
And that is really key.
Definitely. Well, another pre-release on deck, guys. What a great shipment.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So we have our 2023 Old Vines Pinot Noir. So I know I've talked a lot about plant material and vines, but I'm going to go again. So the reason why we call it Old Vines is because we actually have the second oldest planting of Pinot Noir in America, planted in 1958 by Constantine. So a portion of that block goes into this wine, and it sort of honors our commitment to the old vine blocks. Because as the vine ages, you get less fruit on the vine, but you get, fewer clusters. But all of the vine's energy is going towards those few clusters. And the root system is so deep down into the soil, it's picking up trace elements and water that younger vines can't reach yet. So we do treasure these old vine blocks. And it's just a really important part of our, connection to Constantine, our connection to the history. But would love to hear, Sarah, what are you excited about with this Pinot?
I think this is one of the more elegant, silky, really lifted aromatics, I think floral, maybe a bit of violet, some, tart cherry, cranberry, those very varietal, typical aromatics you'd expect, and just this beautiful silky texture that lasts in the mouth.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. Yeah, and again, not heavy-handed with oak, right?
No. Yeah, we try to keep our oak portfolio, again, kind of just embracing the character of the wine itself, so never wanting to overpower it, but also carefully working with different cooperages. We happen to use all French oak. We think it works really well with our fruit here at Erste Frank. So that has been another really fun thing to play with, is to fine-tune the cooperages and the toast levels, and there's just so much that can go into it to create the perfect kind of backdrop to the fruit. And I think that this wine does that well.
Absolutely. Yeah, Pinot it's known as the heartbreak grape, right? Because it's so difficult to grow, so difficult to make wine from, to make a beautiful expression, but it's been accomplished for sure. It's very, very elegant. Shaylan, what are your thoughts? What are we eating here?
Incredibly delicate, and I think that the judicious use of oak really lets the fruit do what it does, and I think that's really helpful because there is not an overwhelming oak presence here, and it lets the grape do its thing. Food wise, pork tenderloin, a roast pork tenderloin. If you're gonna do turkey or ham for the holidays, this is a ham wine for sure.
Absolutely.
Again, charcuterie. Pinot and Chard are both French grapes, and so they pair with those foods. We like to say what grows together goes together, and if you think about where the grapes originally came from,
right,
the foods from those regions are what we pair with them.
Sure.
And I think this is a great this is a great holiday wine. Again, I focus on that because I love to host, but at the same time, I think this just is really dynamite with the food pairing.
Absolutely.
Great acidity, nice red fruit notes, a little bit of spice in there, something licorice-y.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, it's very, very elegant, I would say. Absolutely. Very, very elegant. That's fantastic. Well, cheers, you guys. Cheers. Happy
Cheers.
winter.
Cheers.
Happy winter, Wine Club members.
Happy
We
New Year,
would
Wine
love-
Club.
Happy New Year. We'd love to see you over at the winery. We're open 7 days a week. Come on down. You'll probably have the place to yourself. We'd love to host you. And thank you for being Wine Club members. Cheers, Sarah. Cheers, Shaylan.
Cheers.
Cheers, you
Cheers,
guys.
everyone.
Yay. Cheers.